All right, fellas. So quite regularly on the show, we run a segment called the Budget Builders. We give you a list of players that we assign dollar values to, and it's your job to pick the best squad you can for $10 out of those players. We ran that segment last week on our defenders. You had to make the best defensive team that you possibly could. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. We'll link it in the description below. And we're running a competition for one of our subscribers who came up with the best side. And fellas, I think it was quite obvious who was going to win this one. The commenters were backing up myself and Tazza. Steve, they were all over my lineup. And it's safe to say we had to give the W to one of the subscribers that was backing us up.
Yep. Congratulations to SportsNut129 picking up the dub. Yeah, same team as Josh and Taz, as you mentioned. Collins, Howard, Maynard, and Hunt.
Hard to go past it. It was a ripping lineup, if I do say so myself, Steve.
Yeah, look, I was out of it straight away, obviously, because I picked friggin' Nelson. So yeah. I'm not surprised that nobody else went down that path. So yeah, that was definitely the best of the bunch.
So well done, SportsNut129. He's been vocal in the comments of a few videos, so we'd like to see that. You are the winner of the Statchat Sports T-shirt. Get in touch with us in the comments below or on Facebook, Instagram, email, whatever you've got. We'll get in touch with you. We'll get you a Statchat T-shirt sent over you to wear proudly. So thanks to you for following our content and getting involved in Statchat Sports. Alrighty, time for our next segment. And BT, we like your efforts on this one. You're very consistently coming up with big matches for us to watch. This is BT's Game of the Week. And where are we looking for our marquee matchup this week?
Heading with Brisbane versus St Kilda. I think this is probably easily the game of the week. Saturday night, Brisbane coming off a loss, so obviously they're going to want to get a win on the board. St Kilda coming off the bye, so they're going to have fresh legs. This is going to be a very good game, I think.
You've been critical of St Kilda for the bulk of this season. I think you finally be converted, and certainly a win for the Saints this week would have to really bring it over the top for you, BT.
Yeah, definitely. Ever since Jack Steele went down, I'm kind of a fan of them now. So, but
harsh. I was looking, very harsh.
Going over the stats of this game, it's very similar to the Fremantle Brisbane game. St Kilda have 30 more uncontested, and Brisbane average 8 more contested. Brisbane average 3 more contested marks. So it's very similar. The factor I think it's going to play in Brisbane's hand is it's Saturday night. So the dew factor up at the Gabba.
Oh, not the conditions.
The conditions are throwing them in there.
Oh, no.
It's a consistent Saturday night or night game factor at the Gabba. So I think that's where it's going to actually, to be honest with you, I'm going to throw my tip out there early. I've got Brisbane in an easy win. I've got them by at least minimum 40 points.
Well, geez, that's huge. And BT, if you're thinking it's going to be a landslide, how is this the game of the week? What are we talking here?
Based on the ladder positions, if St Kilda's only 4 points behind Brisbane, but they have a game in hand. So based on the ladder, it's an important game for the ladder. Every other game was pretty irrelevant for the round, so I didn't really have much to choose from, to be honest with you.
All right, fair enough. Steve, let's talk about one man who I think is going to be a big factor in this game, likely to be back in the team after a spell with an injury. That's our man, Smoking Joe. Looking likely to be back in the team this week. What is that going to do for Brisbane's lineup, particularly with regard to the forward line, obviously?
Big in, a huge in for them, massive. I mean, he was hitting numbers before he got injured consistently, so it hasn't affected Brisbane too much, him going down. Obviously, they've picked up a few losses, but yeah, him coming straight back in will be massive for them, and it gives another reason for BT to watch the game because he's a fan. So yeah, he loves a bit of Smoking Joe, but massive for them, huge.
BT, interested in your thoughts on what they're going to do with the lineup. Darcy Fort has been really good as a second ruck. while Smoke and Joe's been out of the team. Can they afford to play the two rucks with Joe Danaher in the side? Are they going to be too tall?
They've also got Eric Hipwood playing as well, so that's another one in there. You got Dan McStay. Does he hold his spot? I don't know. To be completely honest, I have no idea how they're going to fit him in, because you're going to want to obviously keep Hipwood in there. I think McStay's probably the one.
Ooh.
And I think
that's tough.
Maybe Fort, but like you said, Fort's been pretty solid as a second ruck. Maybe they play Danaher as the second ruck. Yeah. I actually don't have an answer for this one.
Yeah, it's a tough. I mean, it's obviously a good problem to have if you're Brisbane's coaching department, but you got to get the balance right as well. Not talking about conditions, but on a bit of a dewy night as well. You don't want to have too many tools in the team, so don't be surprised if there is a big out for the Brisbane game this weekend. So BT, you've given your tip. Steve, where are you looking in this game? Are you on Brisbane or are you going on the Saints?
Yeah, no, I'm on Brisbane. They seem to be able to just get it done at the Gabba, and then it probably good for them that they don't have a bye this week, so that they can look to bounce back straight away after the loss against Freo. So I think they'll do it. I think they'll do it comfortably, maybe not as comfortable as the 40 points that BT said, maybe like within the 20s, somewhere around there. But I think they get it done.
Yeah, I agree. I like Brisbane as well. I don't like their form, obviously, and the Saints have looked good, but Brisbane at home, hard to go past them. But it should be a cracker of a game. It is our game of the week for a reason. And if you're a fan of either team, let us know in the comments why your team's going to win. And if you've got any thoughts as well on that Brisbane lineup issue with the tools, it would be good to get your opinions on that as well. Obviously the fans of the teams, they watch their teams week in, week out, really know their stuff. So always happy to get some opinions from the fans on this sort of stuff. So let us know who's in, who's out. Brisbane tools, it's going to be a big issue, but it's going to be a great game. We're looking forward to that one. Alrighty, fellas, is that time. It is our favourite segment. It is the bold predictions. Steve, I'm not sure that you're lucky still to be holding the title of the bold predictions master, but it is your title, and someone's really going to have to come up with a big prediction to take it off you at this point. So I'll hand it over to you. You are the man that runs this segment.
Yeah, I mean, my bold prediction last week was bold. I mean, I got close to one part of it. I think Cameron and Hawkins combined for 8, and both teams came semi-close, I'll say, to kicking 100 points. So I wasn't too far off.
Norton and Waitman kicked 3 between them, Steve. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I know. But close on one. I'll call it a semi-close on the second. But for both teams kicking 100 plus. So yeah, not the best week for me, but not really the best week from anyone. So we'll have to try again this week. Joshy,
yeah,
you first, mate. Hit me up.
Yeah, look, I kept it pretty short and sweet last week, and I wasn't there. I put my hand up. I didn't get it right. Lockie Neal had a decent game, but not a 169 plus point AFL fantasy game. So, I'm happy to cop that. This week, I think you'll appreciate that my bold prediction is bold, and it's got a little bit of tricky maths to it. So, I do like a good stat. I do like a good bit of maths. So I hope you appreciate this one. We're taking our attention towards the bottom of the AFL ladder this week. Obviously, the Eagles and North Melbourne are in a very heated battle, a last spot on the ladder. And the Eagles, very handily this week, have the bye. It's actually going to be good for them, and it's going to be good for their percentage. So they're currently sitting 1.6% below North Melbourne on the AFL ladder. And I'm predicting that the Eagles, without taking the field, will go ahead of North Melbourne on the AFL ladder this weekend. And the only way they're going to do that is by North Melbourne losing by at least 90 points to GWS at home.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
You got to pass that. That's very creative.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nah.
I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah. You've been quite heavily criticised by me at times on this segment, so but no, that's good. That's very creative from yourself there, and I don't know how many times Melbourne have lost by a margin. North Melbourne, sorry, have lost by a margin quite like that this season. I know they got smoked by the Doggies, I think.
I think they lost to
But,
Brisbane by 100 plus early, but they haven't looked good.
Oh, yeah,
they haven't got look. And the Giants, I think they're going to get a couple of soldiers back in. I don't want to help you to call it as not bold, but I think the Giants could be in for a good game. They've looked better since Leon Cameron's been sacked, and Canelio and Kelly are getting good midfield minutes, so that really helps them. But 90 plus points for North to go down by. That's what I'm going with, and the Eagles jumping above them on the ladder.
You get a pass from me, mate.
All right. I've got a 4-part bold prediction here.
Oh, the multi.
The multi. The same game multi it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're heading to the game of the week. So I've chucked in there Brisbane 40 plus. I know it's not huge, but I've got St Kilda less than 40 points total for the whole game.
Whoa.
I've got Charlie Cameron to kick 6 plus. Also, this is the one. Max King to go goalless.
Oh. Stop it.
Big. Has that happened this season so far?
I think he's kicked a goal every game.
Yeah, well.
Harris Andrews is going to be all over him.
I'm assuming you've run the numbers on this, BT. Not that you gamble, and not that we condone it.
I don't gamble. I wouldn't even know. I did try. I did try to get the numbers, but I couldn't. The market wasn't up, so I couldn't get there.
Unreal.
Yeah, no, that's a big pass. Big pass. Yeah, you're not going to get it, but but yeah, no, that's a big pass.
Bloody hell!
So if I get this one, do I take your spot?
Oh,
yeah.
I'd endorse it. Well,
let's discuss
actually,
that if it happens.
Let's see what Steve's got to offer here, because he could have a good prediction of his own.
It's not as big as that. It's certainly not. I'm torn into which direction to go here. I'm going a bit of a multi as well, but it's not a same game multi. It's a round multi.
Okay.
I'm torn between all the fixtures, including teams with an animal, to either win or lose this week.
Hey, you're going to say they're going to win or they're going to lose?
No.
Oh, what a stitch up.
No, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. So I'm saying all the teams with an animal in their team will win this week. If that's not bold enough, then we'll say all the teams with an animal will lose this week. Look, let's start off that every team with an animal will win.
So
Richmond to beat Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
Richmond to beat Port Adelaide. I feel like that's possible. Hawthorn to beat Fremantle. That'd be pretty big.
Yeah. Call
that bold. We've already spoken about Brisbane to beat St Kilda, but I think the biggest one might be based off of what your bold prediction was, to North Melbourne to beat the Giants, and then Collingwood to beat Melbourne as well.
I think that's bold.
It's either that or it's all the reverse. So Richmond lose, Hawks lose, Brisbane lose, North Melbourne lose, and Collingwood lose.
Well, I don't think you can hedge, BT, but I certainly think obviously the bolder is they all win.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just doing the math for the odds, all right, in my head.
Yes.
I don't gamble, but just to get it out there.
This is all just based off of fewer numbers in BT's head.
Fewer numbers. I think we're looking at around 180 to 200 to 1 for that.
Yeah, well, that's bold.
I think that's bold enough.
Yeah, absolutely, that's bold.
That's almost 6 to 1 themselves.
That's almost as bold as Sportsnut 129's prediction last week. He had Callum Mills to get less than 10 posies and Luke Parker to go goalless. And clearly that was no chance of ever happening, but I mean, we're talking some bold stuff here.
That was a spud call. Turn it up, mate. Turn
We've
it up.
we've just given him the T-shirt. Now you've called him a spud.
When you get a T-shirt, you part the crew, and we all give each other shit. So, time, you get shit now. Turn it up, mate.
Looking for a right of reply from Sportsnut129. Get the shirt, get on your YouTube channel, and pour some shit on the boys at Statchat Sports. That's what we want to see.
Don't take that. Don't take that shit. Give it back to him, mate.
I wouldn't be taking it either. And we want to see some lively comments as well in the comments. Bowl predictions, some general banter as well amongst the boys. That's what we want to see. A bit of engagement on the YouTube channel certainly doesn't go astray. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. We are closing in on the double ton. We'd like to hit the double ton and raise the bat over on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to us on there, make sure you do that. Fellas, nice work. We're a man down, but that didn't matter. BT, you were good. Steve, you were very good. Tazza, you are going to lift big time when you return from the twos next week. It's a non-negotiable. I've enjoyed this one. Nice work, fellas. We're going to do it again, same time next week. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. Cheers.